open up your chat right there. Open up your chat and we'll move it perfect. And let's do a little bit of warming up, a little mobility. But as we do that, if you have any questions, anything you want to ask about, feel free to ask and type it in. Let's start like this. Kind of sit in this kind of an S right here. Hands on your knees. Just do a little bit of a hip opening, hip movement. But greetings from Bahrain. What's up, Bahrain? How are you guys? It's too good. Let's warm up our hips a little bit and move slowly. And how are you guys feeling? Feel free to ask any questions. Hello from Cape Town. Cape Town, South Africa. I haven't been to Bahrain, but I've been to Cape Town a few times. I was almost planning on going last year, but I got a little overwhelmed. Last year was like 46 cities for me. Switch your feet. Circles. So what, from 46 cities to no cities because of COVID. Hello from Johannesburg. I love it. So in terms of your guys' jiu-jitsu practice, some of you might not be sparring jiu-jitsu. Some of you might be fairly new. And for those that are sparring, this is still very important. Actually, just from a show of hands, just put your hand up if you're already a blue belt. Raise your hand. Blue belts and above. Blue belts and above. Hands up, more. Good. So it looks like not too many, like half. Great. Good. Now from here, go to your knees now, and then kind of roll like this, side to side. But so what I was going to explain to you guys was this: the other day, somebody called me, a friend of mine. He's a beginner. He got his blue belt here with us, his combatives belt. He trained for about a year and a half or so, 2 years, and now he's actually out of the state. He's somewhere else training. Put your toes like this. He's somewhere out of the state training or living for a little while. And he went to a jiu-jitsu school, and he realized that, tuck your toes in, sit on your toes like that if you can, little flexion. He realized that at the jiu-jitsu school he was training at, he did best. He really performed well in terms of defense. And he said, I was getting frustrated with myself that I couldn't do. I couldn't go and do. But then I kind of contained myself, and I realized that the reason why I was frustrated, obvious, is I wanted to do that which is praised in jiu-jitsu. Good. On our backs, rocking. He wanted to do that which people give a lot of value to, which is the submissions. But then he said, you know what? I actually like this. He found the gratitude in his strong defensive skills. And the defensive skills are strong because he's learned from us. So he semi-found, lay on your back right here. Lay on your back and then shrimp your hips. A little hip movement and shrimp and come back. So he's now has found a fascination in the defense game. Do like 3 or 4 to each side. Just shrimp and come back. And shrimp and come back. And why do you guys believe? Perfect. Sitting up, butterfly stretch. Lay a little bit of our wrists. Why do you guys believe that fascination that he has now found with defense is so critical to his jiu-jitsu success? That's what I want to know. Why is it so critical, right? And that the answer is in the question. But the question is, why is defense, why is survival so critical to your jiu-jitsu success? Good. And the reason why is because jiu-jitsu is not something you do for 3 years. It can be 7 years, 2 years, 1 year. When I look at my grandfather, his picture's right here, Eddie Gracie and Carlos Gracie. When I look at this picture, I realize that the reason why he did jiu-jitsu until he was forever is because of that mindset. So that survival mindset, the defensive mindset is the key to being around this art forever. But the cool part is that it's not only about being around this art forever, it's being around anything forever. So a little bit of exercise, a little bit of mobility, a little bit of stretching, how far does that take you? Right? It takes you so much further than not doing it. Stretching for 10 minutes every day and a little bit of strengthening, a little bit of exercise, 10 minutes a day of each one of those, compared to someone that does nothing. And the same goes for a little bit of purposeful eating, purposefully searching for foods that you know are real foods and avoiding processed foods and junk foods purposefully. Like, this makes sense? Doesn't make sense. Let me avoid that one. So these are the type of things. Or purposefully taking yourself away from an environment that might not be the best. That could be because of, who knows, air quality, or that could be because of the people that are in the area could be a little bit toxic. How many of you spend time and energy around somebody that you believe you could probably spend a little bit less time with, you should avoid a little bit, who has someone in their life that they can, you know what, I can spend a little less time with that person. That's it. Not because they're a bad person, it's just not for what you want for yourself. So being able to say, not today, because certain people in your life, certain foods, certain routines, certain mindsets, that's what you have to protect. You only have one life. So keep that in mind. And it's a good time to do that right now, right? During this whole COVID situation. So let's go ahead and talk about something we talked about the other day. I did a little class like this the other day, not a little class, a class like this for our friends in Australia. And I think it was like 10 a.m. on a Saturday for them. So you guys are a lot more dedicated coming in at nighttime like this, 8, 9 p.m. But we talked about this principle. So now we're going to go to the ground. And if it makes sense for you to do the movements a little bit, feel free to do them. If it doesn't make sense, watching is one of the best ways to learn, according to Eddie Gracie. So talking about the bottom of the mount, the bottom of the fight. And you guys, I'm sure you have gallery mode and speaker mode. If you can see like 50 little faces, you should probably switch that. But most of you can probably only see me, which is great. So bottom of the mount, when you find yourself on the bottom of the mount or bottom of the side mount, this principle of keeping your elbows and your head, everything very heavy. So if you're laying down, if you can lay down, and I want to be very chill today, you know, and answer any questions you guys have, but very chill. Like, go ahead and put your, let's say my one foot is on the ground on one side, and I kind of push off that foot, and I drive my other elbow to the ground. So this elbow is nailed to the ground because this foot has kind of allowed my weight to shift to that elbow. And so just keep your elbow pinned. Feel that. And then kind of shift to your other elbow. Boom, pin it to the ground. Okay, and then one more time each side. Pin the elbow to the ground. So this is something that my grandfather would teach even in his 90s, 85 years old, 90 years old, talking about this. Other side, heavy elbow to the ground. Great. Now, your elbows can be neutral, but now your head. So don't put your head in the ground like this. Put your chin. Kind of try to have your neck as straight as possible. And same thing, but maybe you pick your hips up just barely, which kind of nails your shoulders to the ground and keeps your neck flat to the ground. Perfect. And now relax your head and back to the heavy elbow again. Yeah, that's the game. And back to the heavy elbow on the other side, alternating. And now hips up, shoulders flat, neck as flat as possible. Great. And now, check this out. I'm gonna put my leg flat. And now, it's not just my leg, but my foot goes a little wide. Maybe my elbows, watch my knee. Boom, I can nail my knee to the ground. My knee is now very heavy. Okay, and now we switch. Boom, other knee's heavy. My hips lift up just barely sometimes. Make my knee very heavy to the ground. One more time on each side, other knee. The elbow on the knee and the same side, they should kind of both be heavy at this time. My head is a little bit up, no problem. Okay, I'm a little bit on my side. And then last one, elbow and knee heavy to the ground. Okay, so now, what are some moments, side mount me right here, where let's say, for example, go under my elbow. He wants to go under my arm, like that. He wants my arm. Go back, get my arm again, go. So a simple moment like this, nailing my elbow to the ground, using my outside foot and making it heavy. Go ahead, go under, go under, go under. Boom. Now, why do you think most people, it's so easy to get under, go under my arm, most people's arms? What do you guys think in that chat right there? What's the number one reason why the top person is able to get underhook right here, which may potentially lead to pull my arm across the belly, cup it, pull it across, like that. Okay, go back. What do you guys think? Feel free to type in. What is the reason why it's so easy to get under most people's arms? It's because, yes, Malik, correct. It's because the bottom person is trying to get out. There you go. So 100%, you guys are on point. So if the bottom person feels like they need to get out, how quickly they give this, it's like, it's instant. So the defensive mindset comes in many shapes and sizes. One is not getting punched. Another one is not getting submitted. Another one is not getting headlocked or not getting my arm scooped up, which could then result in, like, if, for example, if someone has side mount right here, like this, pick up my elbow right here and sit through on your hip. Boom, like this position right here. Come back down a little more. This position, go back. Can be very, very crushing. Grab my elbow again. Grab it, grab it. You see that? There's no, pick up my arm, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. However you like, anything you want. Be creative, use my gi, grab my sleeve. Yeah, anything you can. So this skill right here, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Now freeze. Maybe I block here. Now he doesn't have it the same way. So there are many forms of defense. Like I said, not getting punched, not getting mounted. Somebody not advancing on you is a form of defense. Somebody not crushing you. Somebody not, like, for example, mounting. Look at this. If Eddie's laying down and I want to mount on him, he's here. Put your leg flat. Get ready to do the elbow skate when I mount you. Do the elbow skate. Yeah. So I kind of bullied this leg. I pushed this knee and it lifted up this knee. He still had it pretty tight, but I fought it a little bit and it came up. Now, if we do that again, 3, 4, 5 more times, eventually he'll figure out where to place his foot, where to shift his weight, how to make this as heavy as possible, and I won't be able to lift this up. But that's another moment right there where the heavy leg serves us. The heavy elbow, so I can't lift it, sit through, and pin him to the ground. The far arm, so I can't arm bar it. Side control me. Hug my neck, go under my neck. Go, 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 go. Look at that, just my heavy head. Go, 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 go. Might he get under? Yes, but it's okay though, because I'm still delaying his progress.
And I put a lot of effort on that.
Yeah, and sometimes, go back again. Sometimes, go ahead, go, go, go. Maybe I'll use my hand right here. Go, 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 to even delay it even more. So now check this out. From the bottom of the side mount, if this person, I have my feet, elbows heavy, if his arm right here swims over my arm and get me in a headlock, right there, this arm. Boom, sit on your hip, sit through, like that, go back again. So it's a very basic attack. It's not even like a purple belt behavior, although it could be if he wants to do an arm bar on me right here. But let's just imagine now you're in a situation where you're laying down and the person from the side control brings this arm through and hug my neck. Boom, like that. Great, go back. So now here's the game for us. Here we are. Go ahead and hug my neck, go. Look at my hand right here. First of all, this arm of his, okay? If I sense he wants to hug my neck in a headlock, go ahead and hug my arm. I can hold his tricep. Now I'm giving up the other arm. Go under my arm, go under it. No. Yeah, I'm giving up this, but it's okay. Headlock me, Eddie, headlock me. I hold his arm. Now, if he comes through, bring it through, bring it through. Look at my hand, go, bring it through. Hug my neck in a headlock. Look how I'm holding his arm right here. Heavy head. Watch this. Now my hand goes from here to here. And now using my feet and I bump, boom, I slip out and I climb up. So let's all lay down on our backs and let's play that game now. Imagine somebody is on your side, okay? They're on my right side for now. Person's on my right side and they're gonna bring their arm over here. If I hug their neck, they can't headlock me. Understand that. Now from the neck hug, maybe I let go of the neck hug. I let go of it. And now their arm creeps through. As it gets close to my head, everybody, heavy head, heavy head. Hips are slightly up. Now the hand, grab their arm and pull it down. So kind of delay it from hugging your neck. Pull that arm down. Be right there. And now from that little pull, if they get really close to hugging your neck, bring your hand now. If there's a space right here, bring your hand through, put it on your head, use your feet, slip south, boop, and get out.
Perfect technique, Daniel. Yeah.
I love it.
Very nice, Rob.
So that's another example right there, a basic example of headlock awareness using heavy head or heavy elbow. And same goes for, like I mentioned, side control. If somebody wants to mount you, how heavy can you keep that leg? From my experience, 90% of people, if I slap this leg, boom, their knee lifts up. When I slap Henner's leg, what happens to this knee? Nothing. It probably hurts my hand that I slapped his leg because it's so grounded. It's so angled. There's so much. He's so purposeful on his knee on the ground placement. So take that as a strategy, whether it's mount prevention, it could be leg lock prevention sometimes, it could be arm lock, acquisition. Somebody wants to acquire your arm, you can prevent that. It could be neck headlock. If somebody mounts on top of you and they do this, Eddie is laying down right here. Look how dangerous this is. It's difficult to understand. What are the risks if somebody, let me have your neck, if somebody hugs your neck? Do you guys have any ideas of how dangerous this is? Type in what you think the risks are if somebody hugs your neck like that. What are the risks? Talk to me. Type it in. What do you guys think? Punches from the other arm. That is one. Yes, the free arm can punch. What else are the risks with somebody hugging your neck from the mount? Control, chokes, punches, neck hug sequence, Americana. So I'm seeing you guys talk about actual jujitsu, strategic, attack sequences. It is true. Neck squeeze. We're getting close. Neck crank. Somebody to wrap around your neck like this can literally hold hands and pull up and drive their shoulder into your neck. Or they can do this and drive their hips forward as they pull up on your neck. So spine control, neck squeeze. So I think of that as like a neck crank. Now, how do you guys feel about the possibility, right? Whether it's in a street fight or practicing jujitsu, 3 months from now, 5 months from now, somebody mounts on you and they hug your neck, they hold hands, And they're just, you know, a random visitor from Japan, who knows, and they wrap your neck and they just go, wah, and they crank your neck. It's not the most exciting way to be treated. Let me tell you this, heavy head on the ground and a little bit of effort to keep them from hugging your neck now becomes the technique which saves you from someone like that. And these are the type of things that when you're a child, I remember being 14 years old, 15 years old, and my father, people would come in and visit from other parts of the world and come train. And sometimes when I would train with these people, they would do things that were very like, maybe grab a finger when I was choking them, headlock me, cranking of my neck, certain behaviors that were on the side of a little brute, a little mean. And I remember being 14, 15, 16 years old and feeling like, man, like almost brought to tears sometimes of how frustrating it was because it hurt, it was embarrassing, it wasn't a really good technique, so I didn't want to tap. There's that feeling, right? Well, it's not really a move, I shouldn't tap. And my father always gave some kind of advice that was in the realm of a move that was a very small movement, such as keeping your head heavy, such as making a frame, putting your hand in between. So these small survival skills, these are the ones that are especially important against who? Against the people that might be a little bit more on the less skillful side, but still attempting to crank or twist something or hurt something. So hopefully that, take that principle, right, of heavy elbows, heavy head, and that's just us on the bottom. There are also ways to be very heavy and sticky and connected when you're on the top, but for now, we'll just keep it at that. Does anybody have any questions? Because I see that many of you are kind of watching from a desk, which is all great. What are you guys feeling in terms of, let's talk about survival, defense. Please share your thoughts with me, because this is just our way of hanging out with you guys and saying hello. So in terms of defense, survival, injuries, jiu-jitsu related injuries, things, unsafe training partners, where are you guys at? And what can you share with us? Or I can keep telling stories of when I was a kid, but I would like, and lessons that I've learned, I don't mind sharing those, I enjoy it. But I want to have a little bit of interaction for you guys. How long should you defend? Period. Stop. Great. You can, if you have another question, you can't remember it, type it in now. But if you can remember it, maybe wait so it doesn't push the questions out of the way. But how long should you defend? You guys, this is a huge question. How long, if you're rolling with somebody who's very aggressive, who's a little bit heavier, and before you guys type in more questions, I would love to even see your responses. So the scenario can be that there's somebody, let's not do a street fight right now. Because the answer in a street fight, how long should you defend? The answer is forever. It could be 7 minutes, 9 minutes, just don't lose. 15 minutes, because in the street fight, the need to finish the person is very small. Okay, now talk about just training in-house amongst friends. If somebody comes in and visits from Dubai and he's a black belt and he's 50 pounds heavier than me, stronger, 27 years old, 10 years, 12 years younger than me, and he's in pressure mode, go, 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 go mode. How long, and I don't feel like I can very easily reverse it and finish him. How long should I defend for? It's a 10-minute roll, let's say. It's a 10-minute round. What do you guys think? How much time in that 10-minute round should I spend stopping progress, observing, elbows tucked in, heavy head? How much time? How do you answer that question? And that's how I interpreted that question, Jim. Say that other question up there, right? There's another question that was right after that one. But just remember, let them type the responses in, but remember where it was. So until an opportunity, okay? As long as you need to survive, yeah, these are good. The whole time, minimum amount of time. As long as he's attacking and aggressing, and it's unsafe for you to make a move, remember, half the round, yeah, safe. Half the round defending, half the round attacking. The full 10 minutes defending. So there is no wrong answer, okay? But let me tell you how I see it. The way that I see it is I'm not going, for example, if someone side mounts me and they're attacking, I'm defending. Let's say a minute and a half defending. And then they stop attacking me. Is it now time for me to escape? Begin my escape? Possibly. I wait to begin my escape, either A, for a good opportunity, or B, for the person to realize they can't tap me. Once they've concluded they can't beat me, or there's a window to escape. But those are two different training experiences. You see that? If someone simply can't beat me anymore, but they still have good control, escaping can be very, very difficult. And I would like to know what is possible in the realm of escapes. But if someone is trying to submit me for a minute and a half and they give me a beautiful opportunity to escape, it's much easier to escape. You see that? So sometimes while they're escaping, they lack control and the escape is possible. So therefore I stop defending. Sometimes they attack, and then they hold me. And now they're just holding for a minute and a half. Depending on how my body feels, I might say, you know what? I'm gonna try to get out. Now, I also accept that when I try to get out and I stop defending, I am opening what? What am I opening? When I start trying to get out, when I stop defending, I'm opening the possibility for them to catch me. You see that? So you're the most vulnerable when you're moving and trying to get out and be somewhere else. And the question is, when I get tapped out, very rare in those events, how do I feel? Do I feel like, man? Or is it more of like, oh, interesting. I tried to escape when they were in full control mode. There wasn't the best opportunity. And what a great lesson. You see that? Don't be so hard on yourself when you stop defending and begin escaping against somebody who's still in control mode. Now, if someone gives you a beautiful opportunity to escape, you take it. And if they give you a beautiful opportunity, but it happens to be a setup, you take it and you get caught in what they're setting you up. So the important part is that you were able, in both of those people, you were able to do a fair amount. Could be 30 seconds, could be 15 seconds, a minute. It could be 10 more seconds than last time, that you just invest a little bit of time. Every time you touch that person or you touch someone, you invest a little bit of time on your general understanding and comfort of the things that exist, the submissions and the dangers that exist in jiu-jitsu. That's it. Because from what I feel, I'm not sure about you guys. I would love to see your hands right now. Put a thumbs up on your screen with the little thumbs up icon if you believe that when you get tapped out, you get a little more frustrated than you probably need to be. Put that thumbs up sign. There's a little thumbs up. Who gets a little more frustrated than they need to be? I'm seeing some hands. Yes, there's also a little thumb icon. So not that many. I see like 30% of the thumbs went up. 30, 40%. Depends on who taps you. It's somebody who's your level, an advanced person. Advanced person. You're a blue belt, it's a blue belt. Similar level, similar size and strength. When that person taps you, so it's not uncommon for us to be a little bit more frustrated about losing than I don't want to say need to be or should be, but you're getting this frustrated when the truth is you could probably appreciate only being that frustrated. And when you're only that frustrated, it allows for what? You to get right back to the lesson in the moment. So it makes sense that some of you I see with more experience, it makes sense that because you've been training for so long and you're so good and you're a Jedi, that it makes sense that you would like to not lose. So those that are a little bit newer are a little more understanding that losing is part of the journey. Great. We'll go back up to that question that I wanted to read. Right after that one, how long should you defend? I've been in those situations and many of these times, you know, when I visit other schools. Yeah, so visiting other schools, you're in a situation where you're kind of being ground on by other people. It's a very common thing. And just that's because when you visit other jiu-jitsu schools, just so you know, the feeling is, let's show them who they're messing with, who they're talking to, who they're visiting. Let's make sure that they never forget what it was like when they came to Cape Town. They're never going to forget the rest of your lives. And when they say never forget, they don't mean let's show them a great time, have a very fun, enjoyable role, go out to have lunch after, take them on a hike on the weekend. They don't mean like never forget because of those type of things. They mean never forget because you experienced the toughest of the roughest. That is what jiu-jitsu is like. Most of you guys don't know what that is because you're tied to certified training centers and it's different. If somebody comes here and visits from anywhere, Japan, I want them to leave and say, oh my gosh, I should move to Torrance. That experience was so pleasant, I should move there. Where in all of BJJ, it's the opposite. Go home, it's like in war movies, when like you guys attack us, let's say, or come into our world, I kill everybody, but I leave one guy alive.
To tell them that.
And I give him a head of the king and take it back to the queen, and I run him back. It's like that type of behavior. Like, what? It's crazy. And this all stems, you guys. This all stems in the jiu-jitsu world. This stems from a fear. It stems from a fear of not being good enough. Jiu-jitsu instructors and jiu-jitsu schools, they feel like they are as good as they are tough and they are scary. They don't believe that they are as good as they are effective in teaching a technique or helping each other or protecting each other, or they're as good as the energy in the room, how helpful and how, you know, how nice people are. That's not
together.
Correct. Learning together and helping. And if you're, let's say that I'm about to get caught in a submission, and if I'm getting caught in a submission 70, 80%, I can tap because it allows my partner to run that path and catch that submission. Whereas in other schools, you're almost getting caught. What's the response? Rip your arm out, stand up, jump through the window to avoid the submission. And that kind of has brought me to a little side conversation. When you guys practice jiu-jitsu together, when you're sparring, what is if you're about to lose in a submission, right? If you're 20, 30% in danger, that's one thing. You do a little turn, bump, you defend it. But if you're 60, 70, 80% in danger, right? What's the difference? At that point, I would suggest most of the time that you guys allow the submission to happen. But why? Why would I want you to allow the submission to happen when you're 70, 80% in danger versus doing an escape, a last minute escape? Compared to when you're early in the submission, defend it. What's the reason why? Protect your limbs. Yes. Avoid injuries. Injuries, good. I like that. Avoid injuries. That's the one that makes sense that you would say, avoid injuries. There's something deeper. Why? I mentioned it just right now briefly. If you're getting caught, confidence of your training partner. Yes. Confidence of your training partner is very, very good. That's what I said. See where they take it, how to defend, early recognition. Learn from the experience. Great. So learn from the experience, and I just blanked out. Learn from the experience and training partner's confidence. Freeze. So learning from the experience, you learn more. If I catch him in an armbar and he taps, what he takes from that experience is different than if we're training and you're 60% in danger, 70%, and you escape. Both are important, but just know that you take something different when you actually tap. Or when you don't have to tap, but when they actually get the full extension and you feel, boom, boom, you feel it. Even if what you gain from that is an understanding of when exactly the pain comes. For example, rear naked chokes. I am a huge fan of having people on my back with their hooks in, and the rear naked choke, 60, 70% locked. And then I kind of play, escape sometimes, let it go deeper, tap, let it go deeper, escape. I play all the realms of it. And I do that. And the reason why I'm so comfortable with somebody on my back with the rear naked choke is because of how many times I've tapped. So I understand that when I hit this point, I have to tap or I'm gonna sleep. So as they're getting closer to danger, most people tap about here because they feel like it's the end. I, on the other hand, and many of you that have been training for a long time can potentially get much closer to that. We understand we can escape very last minute, or we can get closer and we tap exactly when it has to happen. Of course, sometimes I've passed out too. A few blackouts happen with that. It's natural. So that is one reason. It's your understanding of the lesson is different when you tap. And the other reason is your training partner. And this brings me to a story in South Korea. I trained with a guy with a 4-stripe blue belt in South Korea. He's Jason Park's student. He's an instructor now. And this was a year or two ago. And I remember training with him. We did a 5 or 10 minute rolling session. And in those 5 minutes, he was doing so good. His defense, awareness, watching me, holding, controlling, beautiful. I felt like, man, I can't get this guy. I can't tap him out. And in feeling that I couldn't tap him, my first thought is, let me just turn it on and then let me just slice through him. That was my first thought, because I'm a black belt, he's a 4-stripe blue belt, and I could use him as butter on my toast. Let me do that. But then I said, no, hold on. As soon as I thought that, I stopped. And I said, listen, if I do that, I am now perpetuating the message of when things get tough, when it gets kind of like unpleasant, go crazy, escape, make it happen. So I'm kind of equating that to, if I'm getting caught in a submission by somebody and I go crazy, that is one way. But the other way is when I tap, I allow that person to succeed. I want that 4-stripe blue belt to walk off the mat after rolling with me for 5-7 minutes and say, man, boom, I did good. On top of him feeling it because he didn't get tapped, everybody else before him did, right? All 10 people before him. He didn't get tapped. I'm going to even say, hey, congratulations. Amazing defense. I loved your awareness. Very hard to tap you. I could not see an opportunity. Because now what does that do? It now sets him on the path. You see that? He stays believing in himself as somebody who could have good defense and simply neutralize. Whereas if I would have tapped him 3-4 times and went really hard, he could have walked away saying, you know what? The defensive mindset and approach is not really for me. But that's not true. That's only because I abused my weight, my experience, and I overpowered him. Okay, learn when you went wrong. What other questions do we have? What are you guys feeling? It could even be on a technique, you guys, on a mindset and a position and a technique. I recently did my first sim and I felt like I could have better identified the indicators. So how with some people rolling eyes closed, how do you identify the opponent's moves and indicators? Got it. So when you're training with somebody, your ability to read what that person wants. It's a good question. How to increase your sensitivity and your awareness as to what's happening. The most important thing, go ahead and type in what you believe the most important thing you can do. What's the number one thing you can do to better understand people's intentions and be able to read your partner's indicators and energy? What do you guys think the most valuable thing that you can do is? What do you think? Type it in. I want you guys to type them in. Talk about the situations. Roll with different people. Close your eyes. Communicate to them. Feel is good, but how do you feel? Feel is relax and feel. I like that. But what does that mean? How exactly do you feel? How do you, not just with the feeling, with the nerves in your hands and your body, but how do you feel what's happening? What do you have to do? Let them do it. Good. So feel with we're good in the comments. So that's what it is. If you can roll with somebody and only try 50%, meaning don't be too concerned about the end result of that position or that sparring session. Just play. If you can play jiu-jitsu and let the arm lock happen a little bit and catch it, and you can, because what happens, most people when they spar, when they train, they're very concerned with the outcome of the 5-minute rolling session, whether you're wearing gloves or not. If you're wearing gloves, it's safe to have a training partner that's not going to be abusing, hurting you. They'll punch you, but it's very light. You can take 20 in a row, and it's not going to bust your lip open. So if you can train with some people, you have people who you trust, that you can train in a way of like not trying too hard, but at the same time, not just falling over and, being limp, and create that in between. It allows your body, it allows your existence to run through multiple paths. It's all about you experiencing all of the different paths, and you can never experience all of them. But how many times have you run down this course, meaning this move to this move to this move to that move, and then all of a sudden you do that again, but they do one thing different. Boom, it's a new one. How many different paths have you traveled, right? Like meaning minute-long paths. I've traveled tens of thousands, right? There's tens of thousands because the smallest thing changes it. The other day I was training. It happens like once every month maybe. But I was training a couple, maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I was training with Luke Rockhold. And maybe like 3 times in our training session, I thought to myself, I have never been here before in this position. I don't know. I've never been here. I've never felt this. And it wasn't a good or bad thing. It was just how the body's landed. This is the first time ever, which means that I'm gathering information on what's happening. And I'm becoming more aware of my partner's intentions and the possibilities that exist from there. So when it comes to the fight simulation training or any kind of training, and you want to be more aware of what they want and what they're doing, it starts with letting go of what? Your idea of how the sparring session should go, which is what most people believe. We shake hands. I want to beat him. He wants to beat me. I don't want to lose to him. He doesn't want to lose to me. That's as far as we see it. No. That's a little part of it. But I want to feel his triangle. I want to see his side mount control, how sticky he is. I want to have him side mount me. I want to go in his half guard. I want to be in his fully locked triangle, halfway locked triangle. So it's a huge research. That's what it is. It's a huge research. Because you guys, what are we doing here? Why are we doing jiu-jitsu? Type in why you're doing jiu-jitsu. Why are you doing jiu-jitsu? Type it in the comments right there. If you can type. Why are we doing this, you guys? Why are we here? Fun, feels comfortable. Be a better person, develop my skills, self-defense, fulfillment, because I love it. Self-defense, technique, science, self-defense, learn, grow. But the lifestyle. Yes. Self-defense. Good. Know myself. Yeah, I feel like there's a big, when I really think about what jiu-jitsu has done for me is jiu-jitsu in the gym with friends, it allows you to put yourself to the test. You get to figure out how you behave in many different scenarios. You get to sharpen yourself and work on yourself in here. But then I'm curious to know of the things that I learned in here that I experienced, whether it's my patience, my awareness, my resilience, my understanding, my ability to solve problems, how do those roll over into my life? It's almost like jiu-jitsu is the practice ground and not simply for a street fight. A street fight is one, but there are 3, 4, 5, 6 other, 7 other either relationships or moments or scenarios. It could be with my children, it could be with my work. So how does everything that I learn on the mat in here about myself translate into everyday life? I think that's why we do jiu-jitsu, because just from a show of hands or thumbs up signals, how many of you have felt since practicing jiu-jitsu a little more comfort in your skin? There you go. That's the one. Just a little more a little more comfort. That's it. So how long do you want to play this game for? How long? As long as possible. But the only way to play jiu-jitsu for 3, 5, 9 more years is if we do just that. And we take the self-defense mindset on the mat and everywhere. And then we can play it for, like I said, 9, 20, who can be 72 years old still doing jiu-jitsu? You know what I mean? 81, still around the energy, having the conversations, sharing the mat. Who can do that? I think all of you can. Henner can.
I can.
What's up, guys? Bro, we got Bahrain, South Africa.
You got
England.
Istanbul is here.
Istanbul.
What's up, everyone?
Lots. I asked them to write their
Saudi
countries
Arabia,
next to their
Estonia.
names.
Hey guys, good to see everyone.
It's a little late for them, and not many of them are watching. We had a lot of conversation. It's just self-defense mindset that's beyond on the mat. But self-defense in everything that you do, and the number one, and I explained right now in the end why people do jiu-jitsu, why I believe we do it, because the sharpening of us on the mat, better understanding ourselves, our resilience, our patience, our problem-solving capabilities, those things roll over into everyday life. That's what we talk about all the time. So that's my feeling. So that's it. Well, thank you guys. Thank you to everybody, all the CTCs, for doing what you can during this time, and even before COVID struck, for all that you're doing all over Europe. We appreciate you guys. And Miguel, like I said, was the first one. Where are you at, Miguel? Wave your arms. Where's your hands? Wave your hands, Miguel. Where are you? Where are you?
Far left.
I see you. Yeah. Oh God, I can barely. You're kind of hidden from us. But him and I had talked. There you go. A while back, he said, "Hey, let's do a Zoom session." So thank you, Miguel, for kind of staying on me about this. I appreciate it. And let's do another one. We don't know how long this is going to be happening for, this situation with COVID, but it's important that I see you guys. I wasn't able to travel that much this year. Henner wasn't able to travel. You guys weren't able to come here on your vacations that we know you love to take. So to see you guys very briefly and just to share our energy means a lot. Awesome, you guys. Thank you, all CTC Europe. And we look forward to seeing you guys. I recorded this, and I'll send it out to the head instructors. So if anybody wants it, you can kind of ask them, and you can have the conversation for yourselves, okay? Great, guys. Thank you so much. And have a great
Great to see
evening.
you guys.
Bye.
Good night, guys.
Bye.
Ciao.
Fellows here.
Thank you.
guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Leonard. Thank you, Hiran.
Yeah.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.
Bye. Africa is here. And Josh Taylor.
Hi, Nini.
Bye, Eddie. Obrigado.